Good evening and welcome to another episode of Eat, Smoke, Drink. Today, I'm going to review the Springbank 21 2018 release. The Springbank 21 is actually quite a unique, well actually all of the Springbanks are pretty similar. The cask variation is always different with each batch. So, you know, if you've seen my other videos, and I'll give you a link to all my other Springbank videos or long road videos, Springbank is still one of the few whiskies that is truly a small batch whiskey. Small batch whiskey means 9,000 to 10,000 bottles per run, and they always mix the, you know, how much bourbon cask, how much sherry cask that goes into there. But these particular whiskies, as part of their core range, they always play with the ratio of rum, bourbon, sherry and the like. This one here is about 70% rum and the rest bourbon cask, first fill bourbon cask. So the color is always going to be a little bit more golden in color as opposed to dark red, and it's always a privilege because these are, you know, not too many of these come out, and they're obviously a little bit pricey, so it's always exciting to taste them. But rum cask Springbank, I've never had a rum cask Springbank or a heavily rum cask Springbank, so this will be very interesting to taste. So as usual, I have my water and I have my straight from the bottle. Just to give you a little bit of insight as well for the next episode, this is a two-part episode. I am going to be pairing this up with a Fuente Opus X Lost City Double Robusto cigar. So watch out for my next, look out for my next episode as well. So let's get nosing. That's a very interesting nose with this one. It's a bit of pineapple, like a stewed pineapple or grilled pineapple, shall I say. I get the vanilla coconut, which is the generally the bourbon aspect of the barrel. And it is quite unusual because I've never had a rum Springbank before, and this is a heavily rum one, so I'm pinning those notes onto the rum aspect. But it's not, for a 21-year-old, it doesn't have that quintessential Springbank smell, the foostiness, the dank, the dunnage, that damp smell. It doesn't have that actually. It's quite clean, it's quite clinical. So a very interesting smell. I'm getting toffee, burnt brown sugar, a hint of smoke, very faint hint of smoke in the background. They're just at the end of the nose. And I'm getting a slightly medicinal smell to it as well. I'm getting a slightly medicinal, slightly herbal smell to it as well. Very interesting. And very exciting as well, because I love Springbank. And Springbank 21 is really a bit of a trophy whiskey when it comes to the 21. The next one is 25, but that's even rarer and it's even dearer. So this is... yeah, that's pretty much what I'm getting. I'm getting a little bit of a very, very mild sweet spice, but not too much. Let's try the one with water and see if it changes a little bit with water. It does. I'm getting like a plasticine smell with the water. The pineapple is stronger, ripe, overripe pineapple, and grilled pineapple still there. The brown sugar becomes more like a liquid white sugar, just sugar in general. Slight salinity and saltiness I'm getting on the nose. So the notes are very, very similar, but I'm getting a little bit more with the water. I'm getting a little earthiness as well. Very nice. Let's give it a try. That is unusual. That is very unusual for a Springbank. It has almost an undetectable taste of that dunnage, fusty, damp warehouse smell. Almost undetectable. That's actually a really interesting note. Very interesting. In fact, it is quite a crisp taste. I'm getting hints of green apple. The pineapple is definitely there. I can't get rid of that. A little bit stainless steely taste to it. I'm getting earthiness. I'm getting a slight bitterness in the end, almost like a citrus rind, maybe a lemon rind, but not like a normal Springbank I've ever had actually. Well, I never had a rum before, but that is a very interesting dram. And this is what's beautiful about it, is that it changes from year to year. So some years will not be winners, some years will be winners. And apparently this year is a winner. I have no basis of comparison, so this is my only 21 that I've got. And there is a perfume, a really strange waxy perfume, almost like a I can't even put my finger on it, like a cedar. I think it's a cedar, sandalwood kind of perfume that I've got. And I'm getting around the back end, I'm getting a bit of orange marmalade, candied orange. Yeah. Let's try the one with water. It is sweet. It is sweeter in nature. So it is sweeter in nature. I wouldn't say it's overly sweet, which is strange because you'd assume rum means sweet, but it's not overly sweet at all. The younger Springbanks are sweeter. The smoke is not as much there than the other ones. There's not as much damp warehouse. So with water, I'm getting a bit more cereal notes, a slight yeasty note, bready notes, like almost like a slight cornflakes, literally like a cornflake. That's really what I'm thinking about. Cornflake water, cornflake milk, that taste of the cornflake, but cereally notes, bready. The sweetness subsides a lot. It becomes a bit drier with a few drops of water. I'm getting the caramel notes more, but not the sweetness of the caramel, but more the burnt sugar of the caramel with the water. I'm getting a toasted coconut as opposed to normal coconut. So that's really bizarre actually. I mean, I'm not used to that kind of change when it comes to Springbanks. I mean, usually Springbanks are quite flat when it comes to the change curve, but this one changed completely out of left field to another. It's actually quite an interesting experience. But there's a distinct dryness, chalkiness to the water sample. I don't know what I prefer more. I can't decide. They're both good. I'd say if you like the sweeter end, have it with no water. If you like it slightly drier, then I definitely think have it with some water. But the aftertaste is really, really good. It's long. It is quite a complex whiskey, not overly oily, quite waxy. But yeah, no, it's a fantastic dram. I actually, I only have one bottle of this, so this is it. I'm not sure if I'll buy the next release because they don't come out all the time. But would I recommend buying this bottle? You know what? I'll be on the fence. I'll be on the fence on this one. I like it, don't get me wrong, and the fact that it's a Springbank 21 years old, single malt, it is absolutely exciting, and I really like that. But the problem you have is it that much better than the Springbank 12 cask strength? Is it that much better than the 15, the 18, which are all freaking exceptional drams? So is it much better? Well, you decide. This bottle here will probably set you back 250 US, maybe 300 US with the new tariffs that's just been put on Scotch in America, right? So this is probably a $300 bottle of whiskey in the US. You get yourself a Springbank 12 cask strength, and that is a heavyweight puncher. That will punch way above its weight, and that is only what, $80, $90. The Springbank 18 is probably 160, 170 US dollars, or let's say 160 US dollars, and the Springbank 18 is exceptional. In fact, if someone said to me, what's better, 12, 15, 18, I'd say none. They're all equally as good because they're all so different. This one here, once again, is so different. So would I recommend you buying it? Look, if you have the others already and you have a bit of cash to burn, sure, why the hell not? But I don't think it's worth the money, personally, and I'm a Springbank fan, so me saying that is a huge deal. I'm a Springbank fanboy, but I don't think it is really that much of a good dram. So yeah, look, would I recommend it? Unsure. And I'm gonna, for cigar pairings, bold cigars, punchy cigars, cigars that'll hit you in the mouth, because this particular whiskey is on the sweeter side and drier side, so it will withstand peppery cigars and woody cigars. I'm actually gonna, like I said earlier on, I'm gonna pair this with a Fuente Opus X Lost City, and so I'm gonna pair it with that. That's my recommendation, a good punchy Dominican, but I think anything that's strong, peppery, spicy will do this one well. Thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions about the Springbank 2018 release 21-year-old single malt, let me know, and I'll try to answer your questions. If you have suggestions on what whiskies for me to review, let me know as well, and I'll see if I can do that. Just remember, I'm not going to review your normal bottling of whiskey. I like to go off the beaten path, but let me know your thoughts on what you want me to review Springbank wise and the like. Thank you for joining me, and please hit subscribe, and see you again till next time.